Survivor is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good. Dear God, what have we done? Ladies and gents, internet, my name is Peridiam, and this video may not be what we deserve, but it is what we need. Over the past week, I've scanned the archives, collected as much evidence as I could, and here we go. Ranking every Survivor season by pizza. Chronologically, from season 1 to 40, 20 years, analyzing the pizza for the betterment of humanity. But before we rank anything, it needs to be said that not every season of Survivor has pizza on it. So, we have the no pizza tier, wherein, to the best of my knowledge, 9 of 40 seasons don't have any pizza to be found. Therefore, logically, I can't rank them in this video, so they're being spared, or we are. Survivor Thailand, Vanuatu, Palau, Panama, Exile Island, Fiji, Samoa, Redemption Island, Cambodia Second Chance, and Ghost Island are not rankable. Although, I do want to point out that Samoa should have had pizza on it. It really shouldn't be in this tier. The episode where Russell Swan was medevaced in the pre-merge featured both tribes going to tribal council, well, it was supposed to, and the winning tribe of this challenge would get to sit in on the losing tribe as they voted someone off, all whilst scarfing down piping hot pizza. Allegedly piping hot anyway. But that never happened due to the medevac, so here we are, asterisk. So, 20 years ago, let's start at the beginning with Survivor Season 1, Borneo.
Here comes your pizza.
The first pizza comes in the way of a slice, flown in by a helicopter and propped up by a box. Never Nervous Jervis got his nickname because of how he boldly took the first bite. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Actually, that's not true. He passed the slice around first. Rudy didn't even take a bite of it. This looks like pizza out of my middle school Pizza Fridays. Edible, but not preferred. Looks like it's got a lot of calories, but you know what? It's C tier, and that's being generous. Season 2, Survivor the Australian Outback, and oh my god, what am I even looking at? What is on this pizza? Is this pizza? I feel like this picture is yelling at me saying, define pizza, buddy. And this was at the auction, which means that someone had to pay actual money to eat it. This was the most watched season of Survivor, and this is potentially the most shameful food item to date. Kill it with fire. Africa. Kenya. Not the best shot with the standard definition, but at least we can tell that an attempt was made to actually make this look like pizza. Thin crust, a few olives, probably been sitting in the African sun for God knows how long. C tier. Believe me, it's going to get worse. Marquesas. Ooh. 2 full-fledged pizzas. Good amount of cheese, flimsy from the way Kathy's holding it, and possibly undercooked, maybe, but she seems happy, and I'm gonna give this, you know what? Like a broken record, I'm gonna give this a C tier rank. It's not blowing me away, but I would eat it on a bad day. Amazonian pizza, Survivor the Amazon is up next, and this was when Heidi and Jenna stripped for peanut butter. Now, I think we're looking at a step up, even though I don't love those massive sliced peppers and the crust looks a little too undercooked for my liking. There's still a lot to work with, so for the first time, I'm going to be putting a pizza in my B tier. I may regret that. Pearl Islands. Fair Play and Lil. This pizza has a thicker crust, but 2 things. First, eating with a fork and a knife, questionable. Second, not a huge fan of the dried up olives, and I'm assuming vegetables. That said, I love anything that gets as close to a deep dish pizza as possible, so this is going to be a B tier pizza to me. Season 8, All Stars. These pizzas look damn good. Thick crust, adequately cooked, a variety of decent looking toppings. Can we get a closer shot? Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. Guys, I think I have to do it. This is S tier. This is goated. I'm looking at this right here, and I feel like I need a ceiling for this ranking, and I think we found it. The producers really shelled out the big bucks for All Stars, huh? Okay, going on to the next pizza. Gary Hawkins, famous landscaper, munches on a pretty good slice of pizza, thanks to Judd, colorized circa 2005 in Survivor Guatemala. Not much to work with here, but if we can infer anything from this single slice, it probably came from a pretty good, equally pretty good pizza overall. So, makes sense where it goes. Meanwhile, let's take a glance at the Cook Islands one. This guy probably needed a little more time in the oven. I think of any pizza in this ranking, this one is gonna be the most polarizing, if only because some are gonna see it as like totally adequate, like it looks okay. Others, like myself, think it's got too much cheese that doesn't appear to be cooked much at all. Some of that salami or pepperoni looks like it was just dropped on top of it and then just thrown out there. I'm putting this low C tier. Chinese pizza. Todd and Amanda snacked on this, and the crust is a little bit cracked, but otherwise, for a thin pizza, I'm kind of okay with it. Zooming in a little bit, it might have hot peppers, which wouldn't really be that savory. I don't think I really want spicy stuff on Survivor, but I will take what I can get. So, yeah, high five, Todd. Put it in B tier. Now, Micronesia has 2 different pizzas on the season, so we're averaging between the both of them. The first one looks about as mediocre as they come. Like, you gotta be kidding me, right? A little garnish on top and a random black olive. Is that what I'm looking at? Because if it isn't, what am I looking at? It's not gonna save this from like C tier at best. Meanwhile, pizza number 2. Pizza number 2 from the post-merge. This is from the hold your hand above the bucket. Oh, bitch, with James. This is really bringing down the average. This looks like candy was spilled on it, and what is happening with that cheese? Are those red peppers? Is that ham? I still have 17 questions, but you know what? The biggest one of all, where is this going? Combining the two together, I am putting Survivor Micronesia's pizza at a low C, mostly thanks to number 1 carrying it. Season 17, Gabon. Its pizza is pretty orange, but I kind of dig it. I think we have onions for the first time in Survivor history, so that's monumental. Looks cooked. Good enough for me. I think this is like a solid, maybe lower end B tier pizza. A rather famous pizza is the one from Survivor Tocantins, where JT, Steven, and Coach sat out of a game of shuffleboard to eat this. And I gotta say, looking at this picture, I think this pizza gets a bad rap. Sure, it's not the most inspiring, but I think what we're looking at here, I think this is serviceable. I mean, come on, Coach sat out for it.
So Coach is hungry enough to quit a game and eat pizza. When do I get my pizza, dude? I've been winning all these challenges, you know? They should let me have pizza and not worry about sealing the deal to get rid of Sierra.
The problem with this pizza is that we then get this shot of Steven, and I kind of just want to give him a hug. It's like Jekyll and Hyde with this pizza. What happened between these 2 frames? Either way, I am looking at what this pizza was when it came out, not what it became once it got into the hands of these grimy humans destroying it. So I'm going to be giving this one a high B tier. But then we have Heroes versus Villains in season 20, and it's just... look at this. It's a pizza buffet. You can tell the producers tried to bring back the glory days of All Stars Pizza with this reward. And of course, Coach had to throw his game away for this feast, despite going on to lose the bowling challenge after he sat out Sandra and Courtney. So, okay, we're looking at all of these pizzas with so much variety and at least half of them looking surprisingly good. I am putting this as our first and potentially only A-tier pizza, or pizzas. And then we get to Nicaragua. The Dark Ages of Survivor aren't called the Dark Ages for no reason. There's no questioning where this goes. Look at Fabio's face, he's ready to hurl. And yeah, this pizza was eaten on top of a volcano. It's probably best we just kill it with volcanic fire. Purple Kelly looks so sick in this shot. Now, I'm a fan of South Pacific Pizza, if only because it arrived via jet ski, which should in theory bump it up a notch. But then I found this shot of the actual pizza, and dear God, why? That pizza looks miserable, dry, hard, and it has been stacked. People always ask the question of why did Brandon give up his immunity necklace? My question, why the hell did he stack this pizza? What was the need for that? And why does it look so tidy? You know what? Brandon's decision to give up immunity, starting to make sense. Bottom of the D tier. This is getting depressing. Survivor One World's pizza was run over by a steamroller coated in orange paint. The crust started caving in on itself. Feel free to disagree, but this is not a good look to me, and I don't want any part of this. I am sticking this right next to Brandon's immunity necklace. Philippines. Okay, this is a white pizza, no tomato sauce whatsoever, which isn't really my jam, but it can hit certain spots depending on the mood. I hope that's just a lot of pepper and not sand or dirt. Now here's the thing. This pizza looks passable. I am going to be putting it at a low C, but I know Malcolm has commented saying that the Philippines pizza was terrible. I'm sure that he would rank it lower. So Malcolm, feel free to let me know if I am overrating this monster. It looks good enough, but then I wasn't subjected to it. Caramoan featured this apparently edible, sun-drenched, ultra-crispy digestion death trap of a reward at the auction. Yep, people had to pay to eat this. Now I know it's missing a slice because Reynolds got one of them. Meanwhile, Sherry bid $500 for the rest of this pizza, and then quickly lost all respect from the rest of the players in the cast and got 0 votes at Final Tribal. Is anyone surprised? I would say kill it with fire, but it apparently already has been, so bump it up. D tier. I can understand the reasoning. Some people like crunchy pizza. You want to hear people chew from halfway across the ocean? Here you go. Season 27 Survivor Blood vs. Water featured Hayden losing water and crapping. Well, this pizza looks fine, I guess. Hayden ordered this off a menu, so he did make his bed. At this point, 27 seasons deep, it's just kind of average. Now, I didn't get any great shots of the pizza on Survivor Cagayan, but I do know that Tony vacuumed these pizzas up like it was nobody's business.
I've never seen anyone snort a pizza down like Tony. I saw it coming out of his nose and his ears, and there was sauce and there was pineapples. Whoa, dude, slow down.
I figure they're comparable to the previous season. I like the boxes having the season logos on them, a nice touch. I'll stick this season next to its sibling. We get into a trend here with the late 20 seasons where I would say they all don't make me feel miserable, but I'm not in love with what I'm seeing either. Like the next season, San Juan del Sur, I would rather eat the chicken wings and that cookie than the pizza, but that's just me. I'm not a huge olives guy. The pizza just looks oversaturated somehow, but I'm sure it's fine enough. C tier. Worlds Apart, right after, featured a reward zipline where Shireen tells us she doesn't want Carolyn to eat the pizza because she cares about her so much. That was so nice of Shireen. This pizza has the most bizarre ratio of crust to not crust. It's too much crust. Why not just make it a thick crust and give us more to work with where it counts? That said, like the previous 3, I could probably eat this and be okay with my life choices, so C tier it is. And then we get to what I like to consider modern Survivor of the pizza rankings. From season 32 onward, it is just an absolute train wreck of gargantuan proportions. Korong features these 4 orange discs that were verifiably sitting in the sun for way too long. You can tell that's a fact because Jeff had to walk off screen to get more food, more temptations to tempt the players to quit this challenge, and when he came back carrying a tray of other food, the pizzas were already sitting there. How long did it take Jeff to get that food? That might be the determining factor for how terrible these pizzas are, and we have to consider the fact this was in Cambodia, the harshest environment in Survivor history. And so adding all of this up, when you consider the circumstances surrounding these pizzas, it is instant D tier for me, and I have no regrets. Millennials vs. Gen X featured another buffet at this reward, and we can see Hannah pointing Adam in the direction of the nearest latrine. Basically, the move here is that you take the pizza, as we see Adam doing, you go to the latrine, and then you dump the pizza in said latrine. Adam has gone on record to say these pizzas were miserable. Brett has said these pizzas were miserable, and my eyes, they tell me I'm pretty sure that plate is just hard cheese. It's in the D tier. And because Survivor is now only in Fiji, this sets a really bad precedent. We basically have the same pizza over and over and over. And to make it even worse, in the next season, Game Changers, they didn't even bother to slice the pizza when they gave it to the players, so to cut it with a dirty machete. Nice touch. And look, I'm not trying to sound miserable when I rank these pizzas, but this pizza looks terrible to me. I swear, I am not a pizza elitist. It's just all signs point to this not being a good life decision. Heroes, Healers, and Hustlers had this slap of greasy, creasy goodness, flat and painful to look at, but hey, Chrissy loved it, I think. The weird thing is that David versus Goliath give us a good shot of pizza here, and I'm not sure what to believe. It's the same location as the previous 3 seasons, yet it looks good here. Like, I'm looking at this picture, I think I would enjoy that pizza on the left, and I would probably be mildly excited to open the other boxes to see what we got. I think it's the presentation. I think the presentation also gives it some points, and you know what, hey, call me delusional, but I'm putting these pizzas in the B tier. Dear God. A mountain of pizza, sitting in the sun, all melted together. You know what this is? This is leftover pizza from the night before at the producer's camp. This wasn't refrigerated. It wasn't taken care of. It's what's left. And it's a mountain of it. Light the entire thing on fire and use it at the Final Four.
There are few times in Survivor where I felt as confident about something as I do about this.
Lastly, we have a double header from Island of the Idols and Winners at War. For whatever reason, probably due to time, neither pizzas were shown on the season. These rewards were cut from the final airing, but we know they exist, and we have a single press photo of the post-swap tribe eating their pizza. Because I have nothing else to work with except the knowledge from Adam that this pizza is not good, and knowing it came after Edge of Extinction and Mountain Gate, I'm just gonna hazard a guess and say it falls somewhere on the lower end of the tier list. Also, because we don't have a picture of the Island of the Idols pizza, we don't have any footage of it whatsoever, we just know that it exists, I reached out to Tommy and I asked him about his experience eating the pizza, if he could just sort of paint me a picture. And he told me, and I quote, "The pizzas varied from plain to pineapple to olives to different veggies on top. Obviously you're hungry, so you're going to eat the pizza. But even with how starving you are, the pizza was so bad. The best part was the soda. Good enough for me? D-tier pizza." So that is going to be my entire ranking of every season of Survivor by pizza. I also asked my Twitch chat over the past weekend to rank the pizzas too, and after a lot of debate and polling and serious critical analysis, this was their consensus tier list. Ultimately, I don't know if that ancient Survivor proverb is right, but I can say that I would rather watch bad Survivor over most other shows any day of the week. I'm just not sure that I would apply that same sentiment to eating these pizzas. But you know, I guess if you're starving after 30 some odd days, maybe you consider it. Either way, happy April Fool's Day, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the video. A special thank you to my pizza-loving patrons for supporting my Patreon pizza fund. Don't forget to never take your local pizza chain for granted on your way out to the next video, and I will see you in the next one once I try to get my next pizza delivered by parachute.
Want to know what you're playing for? It is one of the greatest pleasures in life. Pizza, beer, soft drinks, brownies. Pizza, beer, brownies. Pizza, hot piping pizza. Pizza, soft drinks, chocolate brownies. Pizza with a soft drink and some garlic bread. Pizza and cold beer.
Oh my God, I know.
Plus a secret note, pizza and soft drinks waiting for you. Pizza, real food, piping hot pizza, meat lover, pizza, vegetarian, a pizza picnic, Hawaiian, pizzas.
Oh my God.
Floating pizza restaurant.
Oh, pizza.
Survivor pizza. 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 10 pizzas, a dozen pizzas on a mountain of pizza.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Good news is you did not buy one slice of pizza for $180. Here's what you bought. A rotten coconut.
Yes!
Just give it a try.
How did you get that in there?
Unbelievable.